What Rivian has managed to do ever since they were first introduced in 2021 is create a super strong brand identity, and that is not an easy thing to do for a brand new car like this was, but there is no mistaking this when you look at this for anything else than a Rivian. And for 2025, they've refreshed the R1T. This is the tri-motor. This is currently the top of the line vehicle for the R1T. We do get a quad motor later on, but this is actually more powerful for 2025, the tri-motor, than the old quad motor in 2024. So what we're gonna do in this video, I've been driving this for a week now. I love it. I think it's a great vehicle. Range is great as well, 371 miles or so, 850 horsepower. I mean, it's just insane. Love the new illustrations that we have in the interior for the infotainment screen with those Illustrator vectorized graphics. It's really cool to see. I'm going to show you that. We're going to talk about the front end design, the side, the rear, the interior, all the gimmicks around this vehicle. And then of course, we're going to take this 850 horsepower EV truck for a drive. Now, of course, before we go in and talk about this very interesting and unique design for the Rivian R1T for 2025, let's check out what is under the hood. So we do have a button down here. So let's open this up and see what we have. What is going on here? We have no engine. Obviously not, this being an EV. Instead, we have a bunch of storage here. This is not as big as the Ford F-150, for example, but I do think it's pretty big still. You have the trunk, the button here for the trunk release. If you manage to fit a person in here, they can escape by pressing this. You have LEDs here. Underneath we have the charging cable, as you can see, first aid kit, and you also get this Tesla adapter from Rivian themselves, which is great because that means that you can use this at the Tesla supercharging network, which of course is always a good thing if you have an EV, and some storage netting here on the sides, and that is pretty much it. You have a washer fluid fill up. That is the only thing that you can actually do manually service-wise for the Rivian. So let's close this back down. It is soft close. You just have to close it like that. You can see that it slowly just closes back down. So what are the spec and tech that we have for the tri-motor in this case? As I said, for 2025, this is more powerful than the old quad motor. So you have a tri-motor here, 850 horsepower, 1,103 pound-feet of torque. It's connected to a one-speed automatic. You do have all-wheel drive. Range is about 371 miles. 0 to 60 takes 2.8 seconds, meaning I'm not sure if this is faster than the Cybertruck, but I mean, when you come down to the 2 seconds for a truck, it gets pretty crazy. Towing about 11,000 pounds. You have a 141.5 kilowatt hour battery pack as well, all-wheel drive. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. 220 kilowatt DC fast charging, and the price for this is around $107,650. Now the dual motor, if you go for the lower trim, you actually get more range. Here you have 371 miles of range, while the dual motor gets 420. So that is something to consider if you prefer range over power, and that is maybe something that I would honestly consider myself, to go with the dual motor just to get a little bit more range. You see all these gold accents that we have, for example, here in the Rivian logo. You have some gold or yellow accents. We have the beautiful, in my opinion, yellow brake calipers, and also the Rivian down there in the wheel. And that means, if you see this, that means that you do have, in fact, the tri-motors. Before we go any further, I'd like to take a minute to thank today's sponsor, Wolfbox. Wolfbox sent me this. This is the brand new product. You got a front 4K camera right here on the back side of this big 12-inch rear view mirror, and you also have a 2.5K rear camera in addition to this little thing right here, a cabin camera. Wolfbox decided to send me this to sponsor this video, so we're gonna have a look at this, what this is all about, where you can switch between the cameras. Here you can have a split view. You have the front camera here, the cabin camera and the rear camera, or you can have one camera in full screen. You also get this, which is a hardwire kit, which means that if you want to, you can plug this in to your battery so the camera system is on at all times. I do like the packaging. It feels very high quality and it's huge. So this is 12 inches of screen. The power button right there, and you have these rubber bands that you sort of put up here. As we unbox this, let me walk you through some of the spec and tech of the Wolfbox G900 Tri Pro. So you have 3-channel
cameras. You have 4K camera for the front, 2.5K camera for the rear, and then you also have the 1080p cabin camera. The front camera records in 4K at 30 FPS, and the cabin camera is equipped with 4 infrared lights, which means you can see pretty clearly even at night. I'm going to show you that in this video later on. Now, the front camera utilizes the Sony IMX678 image sensor with Starvis 2 technology, and the rear camera features OmniVision image sensor with the next generation large size sensors and large pixels. You also have something called PureCell Plus pixel technology, which picks up more light by significantly enhancing sensor sensitivity, which boosts low light performance and improves color reproduction. Now, this can clearly capture license plates and scenes details even in low light backlight and other challenging lighting conditions. So the video transfer here from the app from the camera to the app, and if you want to download it to your phone, it's made easier with 5.8 gigahertz Wi-Fi, offering speeds up to 8 megabytes per second. Now, you also have something called split screen mode, which is very, very cool. The flexible combination of single screen and 3-screen display layout on the inside of the mirror itself enhances the user experience, and the in-car and rear view perspectives are positioned on the left side, allowing the driver to monitor road conditions and the interior at a glance. Here I'm peeling off the double-sided tape for the rear-mounted camera, and this can actually be installed. Either you can have it installed on the inside of your window in the back, or you can actually install it on the outside as well. Overall, great product, and thanks again to Wolfbox for sponsoring this video. Go and check them out and this product down below in the description and see if this is something that you would be interested in for your car.
Now, this has 11 cameras all around the vehicle and 12 sensors as well. Very high-tech vehicle, of course. So with that said, let's talk about this design and what is going on here. So to me, Rivian is by far the more product design-wise when it comes to the design, the styling. It has way more of a product design vibe than, for example, what Tesla has, which still has a lot of automotive styling and organic features to it. This has very chiseled design, a lot of beautiful chamfers. It is a beautiful design. I just would not call this an automotive design, just for a simple reason that it looks more like an electronic consumer electronics product, which is not anything negative at all. I do like the chamfers that we have going on here. For 2025, we also have these are brand new. These are now sequential. I'm not sure if that comes up on the camera, but I don't think they were sequential in 2024. And of course, full LED headlight. And this is the bar down here that shows when you're charging. This one lights up green. I do like the design of the headlights here with the oval or this elliptical feel to it, creating a super strong brand identity. There is no other car that looks the way this one. It looks a little funky. It looks a little maybe goofy, but it doesn't matter because what it does is creating a super nice and strong brand identity for Rivian ever since the start. You have some functional air curtains here on the side. You can see that it's hollow, and we have some tow hooks here. Not sure if we have skid plates underneath. I don't think so. It's just a plastic skid plate here in the front mounted camera located right there, and we have some nice lines up here on the hood as well that it dips down a little bit in the front end with the Rivian logo, as I said, being yellow with these yellow accents, meaning that we do have the tri-motor. Right there you can see all the sensors and cameras up there in the windshield, and I can't wait to show you the interior and the new infotainment system because I think it's a very, very cool thing, and the designers had 100% had a lot of fun designing the user interface for 2025. Now, coming around to the side view, I do like the wheel and tire setup. If you have it in the highest ride setting, the off-road settings, you're gonna get, I do believe, 14 inches of ground clearance. If you have it in the lowest sports setting, it's going to go down to 7. So it lowers itself when you're in the sports setting. 275mm wide tires, 21-inch wheels. And in this case, having them be blacked out for an off-road vehicle like this, I do think it actually looks very nice, specifically when you have the contrasting yellow here. And also this beautiful Rivian here in the spoke itself, looking super cool. I'm not sure if this is don't think this is a sticker. I think it's actually in the wheel itself. Very, very nice to see. You have some more yellow accents here for the Rivian badge. And I apologize if it's windy because it is extremely windy out here today. Super crazy. I hope it comes the audio comes through nicely still on the audio here on the video. But look at all the chamfers that we have going on. This is one of my favorite lines. We have a chamfer here wrapping around, whoop, up until the roof up here. And we also have this beautiful shoulder line cutting through here, going up and creating another beautiful chamfer. And then you have this line here as well in the door going into the lower section. So chamfers all over this place. We have some air funnels here in the front end that I forgot to mention as well. In the front end fender looking nice, and some 360 cameras right here. Cameras everywhere, indicator, LED indicator, blacked out A-pillar as well. And you have this frosted roof panel, glass panel up top, which you can frost and defrost by just pressing a button in on the inside. We have these door handles, of course, sitting flush when the vehicle is locked. Now it's unlocked, so you can see that right there. I'm gonna open up the side panels and show you what that is all about before we talk about the rear end design. So everything, just like Tesla, everything is controlled inside here. So if we go in here and open this up, for example, right there on the side, you're gonna see that this one pops up, and you can fold this back down, and you have a ton of storage here, which is so cool. It's a complete funnel in the Rivian that goes all the way through across. You also have this 12-volt outlet here, cigarette outlet, and some rubberized mat down low. This can actually hold 300 pounds, so it should be good to just stand on this thing. And check that out, 300 pounds. I'm thankfully not 300 pounds, so it's all good to stand on this. Very sturdy door, so let's close this back up, just like that. It looks like, I mean, this design just has this futuristic look to it, and I love it. Even though it has this, product design feel to it, I still think it's a very, very cool looking truck. Coming around to the rear end, of course, we have the Rivian thick light bar with this chamfer again, and the Rivian logo right here in the side. I do like this design that we have for the light bar because it stretches across the tailgate as well, and big Rivian logos in addition to this chamfer that goes again. A lot of chamfers in this vehicle. You have the golden or yellow accents here for R1T, saying that this is in fact a tri-motor. Now opening up the tailgate, we'll just press that button right there. You can see that it is dampened, and this is about 1,700 pounds of payload for the bed back here, which is not bad at all. You have the LED strips right there on the sides, as you can see on both sides. We also have a built-in air compressor for specifically great when you're inflating your tires after going off-road and doing some rock crawling, for example. And on this side, we have two house outlets, also very convenient. I do like that it says Rivian there, making it feel a little bit more special. So let's fold this back up. It is not power assisted on the up close, but that is, again, totally fine for me. So looking at the design here, let me know what you think about this. I mean, for me, if I compare this to, for example, the Tesla Cybertruck, there's no mistaking which one is the most beautiful car or beautiful truck. To me, it's definitely 100% going to be this Rivian right here. So with that said, I've been waiting to show you this, the interior design of the new 2025 R1T. So let's jump in and have a look at this interior. Now, if you look at Tesla, for example, the only thing I asked for when Tesla first introduced the Model 3 and the Model Y is to just make the interiors feel a little bit more welcoming. And I think, I mean, they've sort of done that now with the refresh of the Model 3 and the Model Y, but Rivian did that from the beginning. And this is a great looking interior. What Rivian has done here to me is they kept things very, very minimalistic, but at the same time, they managed to put some sort of personality in the car. And that is all I'm asking for. We have beautiful layout, and the integration of the screens I think looks great as well. Thankfully, we do have a screen for the gauge cluster here. And we also have, of course, the big infotainment screen right there. We're going to have a look at that in a second. But check this out. This wood trim that goes around in the door, looking very nice. It has a nice wooden raw texture to it. I do like the bronze metallic feel that comes back here in the door as well. The button for the opening the door is right here. You have this storage, which can, almost fold out like this, and the speakers are located here in the door as well, with the nice bronze stitching coming back. Rivian when you're stepping in here, and the seats look fantastic as well. We have Rivian here
in the back seat with the bronze in metal, looking great. Some nice styling here on the sides of the seat as well with the bronze stitching again. And the seats design overall look great. You have, of course, the power assist settings here, or adjustments for the seat on the side, as you would expect. These are heated, ventilated seats. So with that said, let's jump in here and check out the 2025 infotainment system for Rivian, because that is probably my favorite thing update for 2025, because look at this. This is so cool. If we go into drivetrain here, for example, let's see, right here, look at these graphics, how cool this is. To have this vectorized design of the Rivian. If we go in and change the drive modes here, let's see where we do that exactly. Right here, I do believe, yes. So now we're in the off-road setting. If we go into on-road, it's going to, first of all, this is something I need to do all the time, by the way. Just tap the key here. Whenever I leave the car for a while, I always come back and tap the key because it doesn't recognize that it's still here. But it did that right now, and you can see it says ready. That means that the vehicle is on. Now going into on-road here, for example, lower road right hand, and you can see that it switches up the graphics. Now we're on a racetrack. I'm not sure who would take their R1T to the racetrack, all-purpose. We have a different design here, and it's just so beautiful. This looks like a cartoon character, and I love this design. It just makes it feel a lot more fun here. You can change the ride height here manually if you want to do that. You change the ride feel from soft to firm or moderate. I like to keep it in soft. You can see that it changes again. Regen braking, obviously need to have that on high at all times, because that is what I want to have in every single EV that I drive. You have stability on and off as well. And look at how cool these animations are. I'm just in love with this infotainment screen. It looks fun. It's a funky interior infotainment screen here. Now to changing the side mirrors, you just press the Rivian up here, for example. You click side mirrors, and now you change them with the left and the right buttons here. If you don't have that selected, this is going to control the cruise control settings on the right side, and you have the volume controls with these buttons here on the left side. And again, this wooden trim that comes back across this entire interior with these chamfers again. There's just a bunch of chamfers all over this. I like that it says an adventurous forever there as well. Just small little details like that makes it feel extremely special and something unique with the interior. Now looking at the vents here, you can't manually adjust them. This is like Tesla's system. You just have to slide around these to figure out where the air is going to come out from. And this is something that maybe I'm not a huge fan of. I just want to have it be a toggle down here. Very easy to just manual adjust it. But you have heated steering wheel here. And you also have the dog mode as well. And you also have, let's see, if we go into climate here, heated and ventilated seats down here at the bottom, as you can see, very nicely done. Looking at the camera settings, very nice cameras. You do have, of course, 360 cameras and high resolution as well. You have the bed camera here. You can toggle between these cameras, and you always have the 360 camera located right here, as you can see on the left side. Beautiful setting for the camera system. I also like that it takes up the entire screen, something that we rarely see today when we have different cameras like this. Usually it just takes up like a portion of the big screens, and what's the point of having a big screen if you can't use it like this? Now you don't have wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto here, but to me it's totally fine, because this is, again, like Tesla. You have all the apps that you need, and everything else is integrated in the native system for Rivian. You can have 2D view, you can have 3D view for the map. It's very easy to navigate this. You just punch in your address and you're good to go. And you can also have the full map like this, looking very beautiful. What else do we have here? Let's go into these settings here. So this is the settings to open up the side doors, open up the tailgate. You have the light for the top and the bed as well. The light for the side mirrors here, and also to open up the hood. We can also defrost this roof panel. I'm not sure, hopefully you can see this. So now it's not frosted, but if we click this button right there, you're gonna see that it turns to frosted pretty quickly. Pretty cool to see. It's still, even though it's defrosted, it still has this tiny bit of frosting to it. let's keep it in frosted for now. I think it looks very cool. Now looking up top, we have these suede material in the headliner, bringing again up the luxury feel of this vehicle. I mean, if you're paying over $100,000 for a vehicle like this, you want to have quality materials in this. You don't have a glove box here, which is pretty weird, because I do feel like they would have the space to just put a glove box here. Instead, you have this compartment down here, which is pretty deep, of course, and a couple of USB-Cs here as well, in addition to the wireless charging pads in this area, and a massive storage space right here in between the seats. And again, it says Rivian there inside of the plastic, looking very nice. The pedals themselves has a nice quality feel to them. They look like the designers had some fun designing these and put some effort into that as well. So small details like that is something that I personally appreciate when it comes to cars like this. The attention to detail, specifically if it's a premium vehicle like this, over $100,000. Now looking at the gauge cluster here, we do have some different settings you can toggle between. For example, you have the volume control. You also have the tire pressure sensor right there. Now looking at these seats, again, they just look stunning with all these small details in the side and the Rivian logo in the backrest, and also a small little Rivian logo here, heated, ventilated, all over. I mean, to sum this up, the entire interior, to me, I'm a huge fan of what Rivian has done here. It feels quality. It feels like they used a lot of premium materials. So with that said, let's jump in and have a look at the back seat and see if I can fit behind my own driving position, because I honestly have not been back here just yet. So let's open this up. First of all, we can fold this up like this, and you have a bunch of storage underneath the seat right there. I do like these carpets, look very nice as well. You have the same pattern that comes back in everywhere in the interior. Looking at the door panel, similar styling to what we have in the front end design, and these pockets, again, look at this. This is just a quality piece of pocket in the back of the door, and we have a USB here, USB-C, in addition to a place where you can hang your suit or whatever shirts you want here in this with this little piece. Down here we do have a small screen for the passengers, which is great to see. Of course, you have two USB-Cs here as well. You can connect your Spotify there. Heated seats in the back as well, in addition to the climate settings on and off. You can turn that on and off here. Very nice to see that we have a dedicated screen for the passengers in the back. Now, if you fold down the center armrest here, you are, of course, going to find yourself two cup holders, in addition to a little bit more storage back here. And I have no problems whatsoever. This being an EV, I mean, the good news is that you have a bunch of space, both head space, I mean, ton of head space, as you can see, leg space as well. No problems whatsoever fitting in this truck behind my own driving position, being 6'1", 6'2". So with that said, let's tap the key one more time and let's take this vehicle for a drive, and let's see what this tri-motor 850 horsepower Rivian R1T is all about. Is gonna put it into sport mode, lower it down a little bit, floor it, and see what happens.
All right, guys, so let's take the 2025 Rivian Tri-Motor R1T for a drive. We have two motors in the back, one in the front, giving us this all-wheel drive. That is probably a good idea, since we do have 850 horsepower in this beast. And it is very comfortable. The ride is extremely comfortable. You wouldn't expect anything else. We're riding on these all-terrain tires. We're coming out from Red Rocks here, going to go out to the main road, put it into sport, and see what this thing can do. I mean, it's more powerful than the old quad motor from 2024, and we are getting a new quad motor for 2025 soon. And I wonder how many horses, ponies that thing is going to have if this one already has 850. I mean, do you need more? No, you don't need more power than that. And that is the reason why, if I were to buy an R1T today, it would be pretty interesting, or I might actually go with a dual motor, because I don't feel like I need 850 horsepower, but I do feel like I need the extended range of 420 miles instead of what this has, 371, which is a substantial, it is a pretty substantial difference. But I just love these graphics. You can see the torque, how much torque or power is going to each wheel and how much regen is going to each wheel as well. And also the steering here, you can see the angle of the front wheels. And one detail I love about that specific feature is, let's just come to a stop here. Now, in other vehicles I've driven, you have it's not a continuous flow of the steering like this. Instead, it's in different levels. So it's kind of jerky like this. And how this is so smooth, it's just, you know, one of these details that maybe not a lot of people really care about, but I do, because to me, that just makes it feel like a higher quality vehicle and also higher quality software. And of course, the designers 100% had fun sketching up these illustrations in Photoshop or Flash or whatever they did. Do people still use Flash these days? I'm not entirely sure. But I want to get out to this main road and put it into sport. Regen is of course always going to be, in my case when I'm driving EVs, always going to be in the top max regen, because why not? I mean, it just makes sense to me to have it in full regen, because you get more range and you can also use one pedal driving. This works great with one pedal driving, no problems whatsoever. There is some rattling from the back. I'm not entirely sure what it is, and it's been annoying me for a while, for a week now. I can't figure out what the rattling is coming from. There is something in here that rattles. For $107, I think, $1,000, you don't want to have any rattles like that. But it might be something that is just loose in here, in some storage compartment or something like that. So we're out on the main road, and I'm a little bit scared of this vehicle because we have so much power. Let's put it into sport, change up the graphics. Now we're on the track, and the ride also lowers the car, and you also get the ride feel into firm. Regen is still on high. So let's grab the steering wheel with both hands and let's floor it. Let's go. I mean, come on. Come on. It's just crazy what we can do with EVs. I mean, even though, yes, most EVs, they feel almost the same, but it doesn't mean that it gets boring going 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. It's just like a big roller coaster, and I can't believe we're actually riding on all-terrain tires as well and doing 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. When you have it in sport mode like this, it's honestly a pretty fun car vehicle to drive, and I can't believe we're actually in a mid-sized truck now driving like this. Oh, it just goes. You have all the traction that you need thanks to the all-wheel drive, of course. And this is what I'm saying. I mean, do you need more than 850 horsepower? Do you really? Or do you want a little bit more range with a dual motor? I think I would honestly go for the dual motor, because I don't know, this is fun and all. I don't know what the 0 to 60 is for the dual motor, probably like 4 seconds tops. And even that is still very quick for a truck like this. Now, when it comes to EVs, usually what we see is just a stripped down interior. It doesn't have any sort of soul or identity or passion from the interior designers at all. But in this case, when I look at this interior, this is a great looking interior. Because as I said when we started the interior section here, there's nothing crazy going on here. It's very minimalistic, but thanks to all the chamfers that we have here in the wood, for example, the Rivian logo down there, and how this is integrated in the dash. We have the leather up top, speakers all the way there as well. Looking at this interior, I still feel like it has a personality, even though it is very minimalistic still. But that doesn't mean that you need to just drop everything that makes an interior unique and gives it some personality just because you have an EV. I actually think Rivian has done a great job, both when it comes to the exterior design and the interior design, to create an identity and a personality for a car, a brand that is completely brand new from 2021, and that is not an easy thing to do. So let's turn around here before we get more traffic. We have some free space ahead of us. Let's go. I'm not flooring it in the corners. That is not happening, not on these tires. Oh, that's for sure. We can still have some fun here. The range is decent as well. I mean, 371 miles of range. And the good news, I mean, one huge thing for me is that you can use the Tesla chargers and the entire infrastructure by Tesla, because Rivian is actually providing you, when you buy a Rivian, you actually get the adapter with the vehicle itself. So just you have no problems at all figuring out and finding charging stations when you have the adapter being part of the vehicle itself. So overall, I mean, Rivian has just nailed it. I think they have honestly nailed this car for what it is, an EV truck. You have all the functionality of the truck, and it drives almost like a sports car on all-terrain tires. Well done, Rivian. And the new one, the what's it called? The R1, I can't remember, the R1T maybe? The new I think they call it still an SUV, just like Ioniq. Hyundai calls Ioniq 5 an SUV, but it's obviously not an SUV. It's a big hatchback. And the new Rivian hatchback looks like an old school Giugiaro design, and I love to see that. It's going to be very interesting to see those out on the road as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.